You know, I like this one.
Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another GingerRunner.com review. In fact, 2 reviews today, both from the same manufacturer. You are currently watching the review of the Altra Paradigm 3.0. Paradigm. If you want, I also reviewed the Altra Timp, the trail runner that fits between the Lone Peak and the Olympus. The link to this review is in the description of this video or at the end. But I will tell you, my feelings on this shoe are completely opposite of my feelings about this shoe. So let's move on with my review of the Altra Paradigm 3.0. Wow! Unlike my experience with the Timp, the Paradigm 3.0 has made me smile, laugh, and giggle. Maybe not the last part, but honestly it's become one of my new favorite road running shoes, sometimes even dry trails, specifically for long distances where I just need to zone out, get the miles in, doesn't matter what pace I'm running at. It's really been great for that. And honestly, it's been weird to have such different opinions on 2 very recent shoes from Altra that do share a lot of the same DNA. But my experience in the Paradigm 3.0 has been completely different than my experience in the Timp, and it's been good. Many of you have seen my recent review of the Hoka Clifton 4, and you might have sensed my disappointment in that shoe and that whole line and how it's progressed over the years since version 1. Well, the Paradigm 3 has kind of gone in the opposite direction, where each new version has gotten a little bit better than the previous, and now with Paradigm 3.0, I can say it's kind of filling the void of the Clifton series for me. It's soft, it's cushioned, it's snappy, and it's just been a good, comfortable shoe for my long road runs. So let's get on with the things I like and dislike about the Altra Paradigm 3.0s. Of course, starting with things that I like. The cushion. Unlike other Altras, including the Timp, the midsole of this shoe hasn't suffered from that same problem where it's prematurely worn through or lost that sensation of cushion and springiness. I'm getting plenty of bounce and softness through the foot on all of my runs in this shoe. It's fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. Flexibility. As I kind of pointed out a little bit earlier, I was really surprised at the amount of flexibility in this shoe because of the additional cushioning compared to other road shoes from Altra. And even when comparing to something like the Olympus, which is essentially the trail version of the Paradigm, we're getting that flexion all around the foot. But it's not just a freeform flexibility, it has a bit of snap to it, a little bit of springiness, which I love, especially when trying to propel yourself forward. Forgiving. Altra shoes are 0 drop from toe to heel. Basically, you're working with a flat platform. You don't have a 4mm, 8mm, 12mm stack height difference from heel to toe. If you're curious as to how that can affect someone's gait or stride, I'm sure Altra has a great forum on their website that explains all of that. But for me, I do enjoy a lower drop shoe. 0 drop can take a while to get used to, especially if you're going into an Altra shoe like an Escalante, a Superior, or the One, where the midsole is maybe lower to the ground, a little bit snappier, more responsive, can sometimes lead to some discomfort or mild strains in the calves or Achilles. The thing I love about the Paradigm, because of that additional cushioning, in this case, really nice, soft, springy cushion, I'm not fighting my legs against the 0 drop. I'm not feeling pain at the end of a long run. And actually, it's great. It's forgiving for those of you who maybe want to experiment with 0 drop, but don't want to just dedicate weeks and months to adapting your body to be able to do it. Moving on to things that I dislike. The upper. I'm going to be nitpicky with the upper materials. They're a bit harsh. This dual layer mesh on top, while it feels smooth on your foot on the inside, its additional thickness are super absorbent. So it's going to absorb tons of sweat, which in turn absorbs tons of dirt and grit. It also adds to the weight, adds to the heat. I'd love for a thinner, more breathable, airy upper. I'm looking at the Altra Escalante as one of the best uppers that I've experienced from the shoe brand. I would hope that that sort of woven material can make its way through the shoe line. Very stretchy. There's got to be ways that they can work around it and implement it into shoes like the Paradigm. Heel. The heel on the Paradigm and the Olympus and other the big Altra shoes are really built up. We have what's called the guide rail through here, which I'm guessing is just midsole material that they've kind of warped up along the outside of the heel. The heel counter is there, but it's fairly low and fat. The ankle collar itself, in a majority of Altras that I've been running in, feel more like a skater shoe, really wide. You can't really get a good solid lockdown. And something like the Paradigm, it's less of an issue for me because I tend to go longer and slower in this shoe than something like a race flat, like the One, or a trail shoe where you need to have that lateral movement ability. But really, I'm not getting any sort of performance fit out of the Paradigm, and this heel area is one of the weakest points that the shoes fit. And finally, weight. At 11.6 ounces in my size 11, it's a hefty scoundrel. You have the heavier mesh, the heavier midsole material, you have all this built up heel. You still aren't able to shave a lot of the weight off this shoe. Again, I compare this shoe to something like the Clifton 4, which is also very heavy and narrow and has lots of additional issues that help this stand out as a bit better shoe and worth your time. Just wish it was a little lighter. All right, so that's it for likes and dislikes about the Paradigm 3.0. Fairly favorable, pretty much like this shoe a lot. So I think it's time to move on to the points. Quality, the shoe holds up. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 on quality. I think that some of the materials on the upper can be rearranged. I'm not a shoe designer, so who the hell am I to say, am I right? Anyways, 4 out of 5 on quality. Comfort, 4 out of 5. I get good comfort out of this shoe. It's been holding up really well and giving me lots of smile per mile. Price, $130, same price point as the Timp. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5, as I did with the Timp. I do think you get more bang for your buck out of the Paradigm than you do for the Timp, but still a good price. And finally, looks. I don't necessarily love the looks. I don't dislike the looks as much as I dislike the Timp. I think it's fairly plain, which is probably beneficial in this case. So for looks, I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5. That brings our grand total to 15 out of 20, which is a pretty solid score, and it's certainly one of the shoes that is currently in my rotation and will stay there for a while. So is it a buy, try, or a why? For those of you who are looking for a higher cushion shoe that can deal with the long miles on road, you won't have to really fuss with your shoes or worry about them much, I encourage you to take a look at this. So this is gonna be a buy, try, worthy of your time to look into, and perhaps it's worthy of a couple of your bucks. Who knows? So that ends my review of the Paradigm 3.0. I'm curious what you guys think of the Altra series, the Paradigm. Let me know in the comments of this video. Have you run in them? Previous versions? What do you think? What do you hope of them in the futures? And remember, this is not the only review that I have today. I also have a review of the Timp. The link is in the description and the end of this video. Again, my thoughts on this shoe are almost completely opposite of the Paradigm. That's it for today's review. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, which is pretty amazing. So make sure you subscribe. That way you get notified whenever new videos drop, whether it's films, ginger bits, reviews, live shows. You know, you won't want to miss any of them. And over here, look, social media, lots of links. You want to enjoy those? Do it. And if you want to help keep the channel alive, of course, right here at the bottom, patreon.com/thegingerrunner. For as little as $1 a month, you basically support everything that we're doing here and get some cool perks on the back end. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, cool. We'll see you guys next week. Get out there, train hard, race harder, and party the hardest. I know I am. Okay, goodbye.